We'll
Okay,
be
got it.
trickling in.
Órale, ya
Got
dijo la
it.
señora, ¿eh? Ya vamos a empezar.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, cool. Like I said, thank you guys so much for having me in your special community. I'm super grateful for being here. Araceli, thank you for holding space for your community to learn whatever it is that I know, because I really just teach from like experience and I have a hell of a lot of it. So let's just get into it. I do a whole about me and everything in the presentation just to make it a lot easier on myself. So let me see if I have sharing capabilities. I'm gonna wait for it. I just need sharing capabilities. My host.
Oh, okay.
My host. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Give me some like, I don't know. I don't really know what actions we have on Zoom, but I know we have actions.
Those are
So, yeah.
reactions. You can do either like raise your hand if you need a
thumbs up. Yeah.
thumbs up. Exactly. Find your reactions. They're at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, look at that. That's so fun. I want to screenshot that. That's fun. I'm like all about the emojis and stuff, so I like that they incorporated this into these things. All right, let me see. Cool. I have access. Yay.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. All right. Let us present, shall we? I love how Canva like doesn't allow you to like present. You have to like show people that you're on Canva. But that's cool because everybody loves Canva. I love Canva. I'm not a hater.
Yes, we just did
Listen,
our last
even for like a creative person, it makes it easy, So what were you saying?
That we just had a Canva workshop just like 2 weeks ago with Jahara.
Yes. Oh, cool.
Yeah. And she's in our class too. So ella está aquí.
Hey, that's awesome. Yay. Yeah. Shout out to Canva. All right. So today we're going to be talking about authenticity and alignment in business. This is really what I preach about as a biz bestie. I preach about creating alignment between ourselves, our business, and then our online presence, because I truly feel that I actually know that if you're not aligned within self, then there's no way that everything else can fall into place. It kind of all feels rocky and off until things feel aligned. So let's get into it. Just to recap what we're talking about today, I'll give a little background on who I am, my platform, my community, the Rich Girl Mindset, what is authenticity, why it works, how to do it, and how being authentic starts to create alignment. All right, so let's go. All right, so who am I? Because I do think that it's very important to know who you're learning from, right? I mean, otherwise, what's the point? Okay, so to start off, I'm born and raised in Miami. I'm actually second generation, which is super rare. Oh, I get to admit people. Okay. I admitted somebody.
Just so yay, thank you.
Okay. So born and raised in Miami, second generation, which is pretty rare. But I am half Dominican, half Cuban. I am a family and friend person. I've known all of my friends over 20 years. So I guess you could say they're like family too. So I'm a family person. And I think that I turn everybody into family, right? Like anybody who becomes a client, anybody who is following me on my pages, like I turn things into a very close niche ordeal. On the core of everything, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I'm a wifey, a dog mom. I say I'm a wifey because we're not like legally married, but we've been together for 8 years. So we're married and we're like not, into marriage anyways. So we're good. But yeah, on a business level, to give you a little background on how I got started and how why you're learning from me per se. I went to the University of Miami and I studied visual communications. I got a Bachelor of Science in 2012. So I did a lot of documentary style photography, videography, these type of things. Because I, because I applied to a pretty known corporation, news station here in Miami, but I went through 3 interviews, guys. Okay. So when you go through 3 interviews and you're like 23 years old and you're like fresh out of college and you know you're like a badass because you know you're a badass at 23, man. You have all this energy. And you go through 3 interviews and you're feeling really like, I got this in the bag. And then you lose the position to a guy, and you lose it because they very much tell you that they fear that you're not going to be able to have the strength to carry the equipment or drive the news station vehicle or do all of these things that are like, what are you talking about? Like, I have hands, I have eyes, I have legs. Like, I very much just did 3 interviews for you and I went through trial phases. Like, I showed you I could do it. But it's cool. Go with the man. So obviously discouraged and encouraged, and with a badass portfolio in hand, I was like, let me just keep on going with what I've been doing. So I started freelancing, like I said, and then I started creating photos and videos for all kinds of things, family oriented, business oriented. But I noticed that my heart was more towards the business aspect of things because I was very fond about branding and marketing and storytelling and fusing all of those beautiful things together. And so I made it official. Oh, in 2013. There we go. To answer your question from earlier. So fast forward, today, still my own boss. I'm a visual communication specialist, an intuitive business coach. I kind of call myself a creative and spiritual entrepreneur because, like I said, I like to fuse all of the things that I'm passionate about, and a lot of it is spiritual oriented and creative oriented. So yeah, I call myself a biz bestie because I like to come from that standpoint, right? Like, I'm your friend, I'm here to help you with your business, but on that level of a best friend, right? Like, I'm here to call you out on your shit. I'm here to help you if you're feeling down. I'm here to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Like, that's me, right? And that's how I can attract the people that I actually want to work with, right? Because I've learned throughout the years that not everybody is for you, and I'm not for everybody, and that's cool. So now I get to work alongside my partner in life and business. I get to build the life and biz of my dreams. I get to inspire people and just kind of like stand in my purpose. And it's so rewarding when you can just do what comes naturally to you. You know what I mean? So I own and lead a fully, it's mainly women led and women based, but we're a Latina owned creative collective. So we're a creative agency. We help businesses with their online presence and their brand awareness through branding, storytelling, content marketing, again, kind of honing in on the who behind the brand, right? And of course, the what. But again, the who, because the who is what people are attracted to. That's what people want to see. That's what people connect to. That's what people feel like, ooh, I feel known, seen, heard. And that's what we want in business. So that I have that, and then I also founded and launched a female entrepreneurship community and membership platform for women who need support, accountability, resources, and like a biz bestie in their pocket, right? And that's the Rich Girl Mindset, and that's really like my baby because, well, VCV is already my baby, but I have team members, right, who like help me with this baby, and the Rich Girl Mindset is more like my baby right now until I get, board members until we get there. But I'm really trying to inspire women to realize that we can step out of our comfort zones and into our genius zones and kind of just, get uncomfortable with being get uncomfortable with being comfortable, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Wow, tongue twister even for me. So yeah, so I'm extremely passionate about connection, spirituality, people, creativity, community, mindfulness, communications, collaboration, individuality, storytelling, you name it. I mean, I'm like a people person. I always say that what inspires me is people. And that's always been ever since I was a journalist. That was the inspiration, right? It's like the beautifulness amongst what I'm walking through, people, the nature, just life. Like, I get inspired by life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all of it. So how did I get this far? The Rich Girl Mindset, for real, as corny as it sounds. I came up with this name out of nowhere, but it was first a feeling, a lifestyle, it was a mindset, it was a way of being, right? A way of living, a way of doing. So what is the rich girl mindset? It's an abundant mentality that allows us to tap into our truest potential and manifest realities beyond our wildest visions. Having the rich girl mindset reminds us that we are already rich within, allowing us to create true alignment between mind, body, soul, and purpose. Once we do this, we are able to truly prosper the way we are meant to be. So rich girl mindset is a movement, it's a community, it's a private network, and it's a lifestyle, mainly. So I always like to say that the magic happens outside of your comfort zone. I heard this when I was like 18 and I got it immediately, but I wasn't like in that headspace yet, you know? So it didn't sink in till later on when I started stepping out of the comfort zone and I started to realize like, oh, wait, the magic really does happen outside of the comfort zone. And like, again, it has to be like a comfortable comfort zone, right? Like we have to feel good stepping into this place, right? It can't be something that's so wildly like out that it doesn't feel good. It has to feel good to be able to like, all right, I'm gonna step over here, and then I'm gonna step over here, and then I'm gonna step over here. But with every step, it has to feel good. So with that being said, that was a long spiel. Let's get started. So authentic businesses. Also, do we have any questions? Araceli, if you want to let me know if we have any questions like in the chats, feel free.
Absolutely. I did see somebody raise their hand earlier. And that is, oh, Crystal.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Do we want to put it on the chat? That would be fine.
Yeah, if we have questions, let's put them on the chat, and then that way, when I'm done with the presentation, we can kind of just go over them Q&A style, because I love Q&A, guys. Just letting you know. So please, if you have questions,
please say
write them down. Yes.
Yeah, Vanessa is so amazing. Like, yeah, for reals. Can we get a copy of this presentation? Absolutely. We're gonna be. This is all recorded, so yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, so authentic businesses inspire and prosper, right? So once we get into that mindset of I'm here for you, then the abundance and the success and all of the whatever that looks like for us can happen, right? But our mindset has to shift a little in the sense of like, we're not thinking just business, we're thinking about the people we are serving. Okay, so what is authenticity? Simply put, being authentic means staying true to who you are, what you do, and who you serve. In an environment where more of the human aspect matters, it helps to create value and benefits for your dream clients, as well as help improve your business as a brand. Why being authentic works and helps us feel better. Authenticity, because again, I'm all about feeling good. Authenticity elevates your business above the competition. And I like to say that, I say that because it creates a different realm where you no longer feel like there's competition. Because at the end of the day, nothing is truly proprietary anymore, like unless you're a mad genius and you're coming up with like something that is. But for the most part, whether it's product-based or service-based, everything kind of falls under one category or another. So what's really going to differentiate somebody from someone else is you, your qualities, your values, your characteristics, like everything that makes you you as a whole. And yes, your business is part of that, right? Like your business doesn't make you, you make your business. Ooh, somebody write that down for me.
Ooh, that was hot. No, Baker, your business makes you, because oftentimes, and there's a lot of folks here I want to just acknowledge, they might not be in the area of like wanting to start their business. How does this also like apply for like getting that job, like wanting to go for either that education or what are we striving for?
Exactly. So yeah, so it also helps build credibility and position us as a industry expert, right? So the more comfortable we feel showing up in what we know, the more people feel comfortable learning from you or buying from you or whatever the case may be, right? It helps build that know, like, trust factor that I was talking about earlier that we all need to succeed in business, because at the end of the day, this goes both ways, right? Like our audience likes to feel known, seen, and heard, right? And that helps us build that know, like, trust factor. So by me making you feel known, seen, heard, I'm I'm building the know, like, trust factor with you, if that makes sense. It gives substance to your business, services, and products. It enables people to relate to your business. So like I said, now you're pulling at heartstrings. Now you're making them feel like, this person's talking to me. I've been there before. Going through the same thing. All of these things, right? Like, you're becoming more relatable. And that's really important because, again, at the end of the day, if somebody's Googling like a specific thing that they need or a specific what that they need, the next thing that's going to help them make the decision might be the who. It might be like the people behind the brand or the story behind the brand or the mission behind the brand or whatever, right? Like, and you guys know, you see these like commercials now that are incorporating more visual storytelling and they're like pulling at heartstrings, and like I cry on commercials sometimes and I'm like, did this 30-second commercial just make me cry? Yeah, they did that because they know that it works. It helps people understand what it is you offer, how you serve them, how you help them, how it actually benefits them. Because again, there's so many people doing so many of the same things at the end of the day that people need to see, like, why you? Like, why you? Why do I want it from you? Why do I want to buy it from you? Why do I want to learn it from you? Why do I want to follow you? Why do I want to hang out with you? No,
why would I want to
you get what
hire
I'm saying?
you? Why would I want to
Yeah.
hire you if we don't, authentically show up? And so again, I go back to, like, I know not everybody here is trying to think about starting their own business, and maybe sometimes we're just thinking about, oh my gosh, what am I going to do tomorrow? To make ends meet and so forth. But just like being authentic with ourselves is like going to really attract that too. And also being
100%.
right. And that also means dwelling into, like, oh, what I don't have, but also really being grateful for the things that we do have. And that's going to keep on attracting more of the things that we do have, more even.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And honestly, like, Araceli, I'm glad that you said that because this presentation, you're right. Like, it's not just for business owners. Like, that's why it says for business, because it really could be taken for whatever it is that makes you happy. A lot of people are happy working for other people, and that's totally fine. That's totally acceptable. Please do that. Be happy. I need more happy people in the world. But the idea is that you are creating that happiness for yourself, right? Like by accepting the job position that you want, or standing in your value and telling people what you're worth, or whatever the case may be, right? Like showing up as your authentic self too, and not putting on like a suit that you really don't feel comfortable in because, oh, the job requires it. Like, no, there's probably another position at another company that will allow you to wear what you want and do, like, you get what I mean? Like, there can always be alignment with being authentic. It shows people.
Yes, alignment with being authentic, for real.
Damn, yes. Somebody write that one down for me too. Get these quotables for me. No,
we are writing that. We are.
I'm just kidding. It shows people that what you offer is of high value, right? Whether it's a product, service, whether it's your energy, whether it's your time, whether it's your expertise, whatever it is, right? Like, you are of high value and people need to know that. And the only way that people will know that is when you actually demand it and require it and show people, like, wait, this is my worth. This is my value. It marks you out as a reliable, trustworthy brand, person, whatever. Ooh. And it encourages engagement and can turn audiences into dream clients. So at the end of the day, we can actually work with people that we want to work with, or in environments that we want to work in. So how do we do it? Look back on your brand identity, right? The brand identity deep core is the vision. What does the future look like? What future do you want to help create? The mission, how we help in creating this future, right? What are we here to do? The purpose, why do we do what we do? Why do we exist? What are we here for? And then our core values. Oh my God, what is up with this thing? What do we believe in? I think I need some water. What do we believe in? What do we stand for? How will we portray ourselves as a brand in support of our vision, mission, and purpose? So it kind of all aligns. And I feel like you have to, like, really hone in on these things and kind of like dig deep to answer these questions so that it can start feeling aligned and better and like feel good. I feel good. So, a few things to keep in mind. Be real. Like, keep it real, you know? Be charitable. Be consistent. Back up what you say. Be responsive. Respect privacy. Be accountable. Highlight your reputation. Nurture your supporters and following, like the people that you already have in your community, the people that are already following you and learning from you and are excited to be there. Don't share everything with everyone. Know your limits and set your boundaries. And that's it. What? Thank you for being here. Thank you. No, for real. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope that you got a lot of information from this, enough information from this. I hope it was helpful for anyone on any journey. And now I hope you guys can really go out there and be like, not just your best self, but your best authentic self. Namaste. How do I stop sharing? Oh. I want to see your beautiful faces again. I couldn't see your faces while I was doing all of that. Now we can share energy again. All right. So did we lose Araceli? I feel like I lost my co-host. But that's cool.
Perdón, me fui. No vas a creer. You know, we have like 3 different jobs going on. I have another fundraiser that's about to hit it. For my clients, and I'm like, yes, let it pour for them. Let it pour all kinds of good positive.
I had some confetti here earlier, so there you go.
Are we opening up for Q&A?
Yes.
All right, cool. Because I'm gonna stop the live stream them on Facebook because I want us to feel like we're okay. Sorry, Face.
Yeah, like we're here. All right, Facebook. Sorry.
Nos vemos. Adios, amigos. Can we get the PowerPoints that people were saying, yeah, those questions were really good. Luego me lo mandas, ¿sí? Send it to me later and I'll email everyone the questions, or just send me the questions. So, you know, want to respect your information as well. Okay, I'm going to put us in view, gallery view, so we can all see
gallery view. Yes.
I'm still recording though, or should we pause the recording? In case we share.
Keep the recording in case people need to hear the answers, because I might answer some good stuff.
That is really true. She's gonna answer some $5,000 questions, as I call them.
Yeah, I don't know what comes out. Sometimes some amazing things come out of this brain that I'm like, was that me? Wow, I impressed myself sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So a little background. I met Vanessa on Instagram about a year ago, and I was kind of just like, I really need to invest in myself, but I'm done with like investing in myself the traditional ways. I would like to just learn from, master. And I seen Vanessa at the master level where she was at on social media, just like all kinds of videos and just like, oh my gosh. So the very little I've started, it's taken about a year, and very little I've started doing a little bit of myself. And it's just like, it's almost like whenever we, take up a new habit or take up a new craft, we want to just keep on fooling around with it. We have a question here. What inspires you to continue to work for yourself? Great question.
Oh man. At this point, I don't even know if I would be able to work for somebody else. Like literally, for real. I don't even know, because number one, I don't know what the corporate world is like today. And that could be a scary place for somebody like me who's already been working for herself for so long. And also, just like at the core, I hate being told what to do. Like, I never really understood rules. Like, I never understood what I would have to take off my piercing to be a room service attendant. Like, I never understood why you had to paint your nails one color. Like, certain things like that. Like, I just never understood these minuscule rules. So I think that's what inspires me, is like the freedom to like do what I need to do when I need to do it. Like, for example, last year I had a really serious family thing going on where I lost my grandfather, and like 5 months before that, he had to go to the hospital a lot and do a lot of things. And who was the one that was able to be there and take him to these places and all of that? me, you know, because my mom was working and my sister was working and my grandma was working. Like my grandma is still working at 76 years old. She's been a mail postal service carrier for 35 years. And while she loves it, and that's why I'm saying like, that's a successful person, because she followed a dream and she attained it and she's still there and she's living it. And that's what keeps her alive, honestly, like it is. So that's what it is, like the freedom to just be when I want to be and where I want to be when I want to be, you know. And also like for mental health reasons, you know, like I'm not always all good, and entrepreneurship allows me that freedom to also like feel my feels when I'm feeling them, because I'm a human and it's okay for me to feel my feels and have a bad day or a bad week or a bad 5 months, because that happens. Araceli knows, she's been here throughout the whole thing. So, and that's what I mean about attracting dream clients, is like they'll understand that you're a human, or and whatever, dream clients, dream bosses, dream whoever the heck, like you know what I mean, like people that you want to work with, surround yourself with, be around, like they'll understand, they'll know where you're coming from and your true, like at your true core. So yeah, that's a long-winded answer to that question. Also, I wanted to give you guys a little background real quick, because I don't add this in my like spiel about who I am, but I wasn't always this like outgoing, eccentric, in your face, yeah, put me on video type of person. Like I was actually always very shy, timid, behind the scenes, observing, like watching life happen. But I feel like I was learning a lot, and like that's why when I say to step out of your comfort zone and the magic starts to happen, like that's what I mean, right? It's like I eventually had to like step from behind the camera and started talking to people. I had to actually ask them for their picture, because it was no longer just documentary style. Like certain little steps that you start to take to kind of like grow into, kind of like when you're watering like a plant, you know, and you see it like start to grow. It's like, it's literally like that. Like, you know, your potential, and you start to water yourself in that way so that you can grow.
People are saying you was an introvert, but you knew an extrovert. You know you're an extrovert.
Yeah, so that's actually when you're in between, when you have like both sides of the coin on you, that's an ambivert. So I'm an ambivert. I could be introvert or I could be extrovert. It depends on my mood, on where I am, on the environment, on the energy. Sometimes I'm out and sometimes I don't even talk, straight up, because I'm just like, I don't really feel like talking today, and I don't really feel like there's anybody here to talk to. And maybe I'll talk to one person and that'll be the one, you know?
It's so true. Another question: how do you keep organize your work agenda with your personal life, or do you work 24/7? Ooh, that's
no,
a
girl.
good one. That's a good one.
So
we are
that is a good one. And I love planning. I love goal setting. I love bullet pointing. I love scratching things off. I love making things simple. I love honoring myself. So I have a morning ritual. I have a night ritual. I'm actually like, right now, I'm not supposed to be on the internet, you know, but when the time calls for it, that's why you make exceptions, you know, because you know that you don't always do these things. So it's okay to show up right now for you ladies, because I wanted to, you know, I want to be here. I think it's beautiful that you guys held space for me to come share with you whatever it is that I know. So I make an exception because I want to make an exception. If people are calling me at 8 p.m. though, my 8 p.m. it's 8:30 over here, even 7. Like if it's not important, I'm not picking it up. And if it's important to them, they know that I'll get back to them tomorrow, because I've already set that boundary, you know? So that's an important thing to do with other people, whether it's bosses, whoever, like, bro, set boundaries. Like, you have to understand that whatever it is that you start to do at the very beginning, people will always expect. So the moment that you do something that you don't like to do, and you said yes, you just screwed yourself over, because they're not going to know any better, you know? You have to teach people things, and you have to teach them how you roll, basically. So yeah, no, it's very important to kind of like know when to stop. I definitely don't always work. I definitely, sometimes I even take, I lived in Spain for 3 months and I learned a lot about siestas and enjoying life and going out to lunch for 2 hours and drinking and then sleeping a little. And then, like, yeah, I was like, what? These are my people right here. Cause my whole life I've been a napper, you know, like after middle school, before cheerleading practice, after football, whatever, like all different things. I'm a napper at heart. So if my body is asking me for a nap, you better believe I'm gonna take like a 15-minute nap, 30-minute nap, and then I'm gonna like recharge and come right back, you know, because I would rather do that than be all lethargic and like, oh, and like kind of like half asleep and like getting a little bit done than like being able to use my time wisely. So yeah, I like to use time wisely. And I think that there's a lot of abundant time. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have time for that. I'm like, maybe it's a little bit of a shift perspective. For example, meditation, right? People think meditation is like a whole, you got to sit down, meditate, namaste. While that is a whole part of it, yes, meditation can be anything that you're just being mindful about, right? Like it could be folding the clothes, but you're really just thinking about like, damn, I'll fold this clothes like Mary Kondo. This clothes smells good. Like you keep it within the frame of what you're doing. You know what I mean? You can drift off, but then come back. You know, washing the dishes, same concept, taking a shower, like all of these daily things that we do can become a little bit more of a meditation practice. But really what it is just being mindful about it. Even eating, like when was the last time you just ate? Like you just ate only, just the food. You didn't have a cell phone, you didn't have the TV on, you didn't have somebody asking you questions, like a bunch of things going on. Like it was just you and the plate of food. And you were like, man, thank you, chicken. Thank you, rice. Thank you, beans. I love you. And then you just ate it and you savored it and you loved it and you chewed it. And you were like, And then it only took you 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So yeah, look, I got somebody who said every day. Yes, girl.
We have a comment on here. It says, I think my biggest setback is not being financially stable enough to make my business dreams come to life. Or that in between part, I feel that it blocks me from able to come up with ideas or putting myself out there. Do you have any advice about getting out of this self-doubt mindset? That's so
yes.
Tell me. And then she says, is there a toolkit resources that you would recommend about building your authenticity and alignment? I think some of those questions that Vanessa will give us will give you at least the content, just the sentences to build those once you're answering them and just, you know, giving yourself some time. So we'll definitely be putting that in our email as maybe some homework for next week. But let's address that. What about being in that in-between space? I don't got those gigs. I don't got that 5K day, my $5,000 days.
There we go. There we go.
I need to go to the pantry to fill my pantry.
That's where we need to start shifting. Yeah. That's where we need to start shifting. Okay. So check it out. I'm going to say 3 things. 3 words. And it's that words cast spells. Now, whether you're using these words out loud, whether you're using these words in here, whatever you're actually speaking, you're creating, right? So that is a lack mentality, right? Which is fine. We've all been there. I know this. We know this. So what we have to do is shift our perspective. We have to know that we are abundant. We do have all the money and all the things that we need. We have to think we have to also be grateful, live in gratefulness, like what things that we do have, so that we can start to create this different brainwave, so that the universe can start to be like, oh shit, she's not broke, she's not this, she's working on this. So then the universe starts to help you create this other reality that you want to create, because you're no longer saying that you live in this reality. You're saying that you're working towards this reality. So it's a matter of shifting the things that we say. Like if you're saying I don't this, I don't that, I don't this, then maybe it's that I'm working on this, not that you don't have this, right? So, and also books, bro. And I can recommend some books. I can create like a little list of like mindset shift, like especially money mindset shift books that can really help kind of like, you know, tap into that energy, because it is an energetic field. Like money is energy. And the quicker you start to know that, the quicker you can actually start to like see things happening in ways that you want, you know? And
you say
it's
you want
also super important
$5,000,
to know.
you go get it. Say you want a
Exactly.
5K day.
Exactly.
I started declaring that. I'm like, I
Exactly.
need a 5K day. I just want a 5K day. I just kept on saying it, and then I finally had one.
Declare it.
But it took me a while. I'm not gonna say, oh my gosh, this happened tomorrow.
I was
No,
just
it took
gonna
me a
say
while.
that. I was just gonna say that. Declare it and then have patience. Like ride the wave, you know, like ride the wave, and always be in that mentality of like, it's okay, it's gonna be great. I'm working on it. It's gonna be great. I'm working on it. And not that I don't, not that I can't, not that this, because that stuff it just weighs down. It weighs down, and it keeps weighing down. So the more like this energy you have, it might take however long it takes, but you'll be going there, you know? So, another long-winded answer. Told you I like Q&A.
We have a question. I have a hand raised.
Yes. Cool. Show me. Or ask away.
I want to speak for the single moms out there, right? Okay, because we have different fears, okay? Like feeding our children, keeping roofs over our heads. So I think in it's not just about having the mindset, right? It's also about having tools and sometimes taking baby steps, right? Like developing a business plan, developing marketing and logo. So if you could maybe share, you know, how going beyond just the mindset, like I think that might be like some real meat that people are looking for.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, at the end of the day, mother, whatever like your role in life is, we have a lot of shit going on, right? So if you're trying to build a business and you don't have the funds or whatever and all of that stuff, if you're lucky enough to have a 9-to-5 or a part-time or something while you're building this business, that helps so much. And do not be afraid to use money from your said job or whatever to invest in yourself. Make investments, invest in yourself, but make smart investments. Like it doesn't always have to be the high-end stuff. It can be a small book that you actually read that actually makes a difference. It could be a little workshop. It could be a community, a mentor. Like make small investments and believe that it will work for you, right? Like you have to believe that the investment that you're going to make can funnel this idea or this plan or this dream. But if you have funds already, please start investing in yourself in some way, shape, or form. What else?
We have another question.
My other thought process. Yeah.
Samantha, go ahead.
So how do you go from like the dream, like the thought process is in your head, like you can see it and you want to do it, but how do you take that out of your head and put it on paper so that you can do all of the goal planning and the making the preparations and the business plan and all of that so that you can get started? And even if it's big, like make it smaller so that you're doing at least part of it until you can get the bigger picture to happen.
Absolutely. So if it's in your head, get it out of your head. I like to call this technique brain dump. Like literally start brain dumping all of the ideas that you have, and like not in an organized form, right? Like just literally brain dump them. Then later go back to that and see how you can compartmentalize those ideas in ways that you can actually start to execute, right? So like, all right, creating a business plan or a brand plan. And there's a lot of resources like on small business, SBA.gov, like small business, whatever the A stands for, and something, SBA.gov. They have a lot of resources for just starting out, like writing a business plan, all kinds of different things that can certainly help you like come up with answers to questions that you might not even are like be thinking about. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, if you're starting to think about an idea, do not go, yes, go make your Instagram account, because like go lock in that at name or whatever. But don't think that like, okay, I have a business idea, I'm gonna go on Instagram and just like start this business and it's gonna start working. Like, no, you really need to build this foundation first. And this foundation is like, what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to serve? How are you gonna help? How do you want to show up? So that way you can actually start doing these things in a way, again, that feels good to you, and not in a way that like, oh shit, I see this person doing that, fulanito doing this over here. What do I do? Because then it starts to get all like chaotic and you're like, oh my God, I don't know where to do, what to start with. So that's why it's like, if you go there first, you're going to feel chaotic, crazy. Oh my God, what? If you start at the foundation of it, when you get there, it's going to feel a lot more aligned.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
So
thank you guys for your questions.
For sure. A resource that I'm putting on here, Samantha, is what I call the Canvas plan model. And you can watch the YouTube video on it. And it's like a business plan, but a lot easier. You do it in like literally like a half hour. And what I would encourage you, just like the video does, is utilize it as if your target, like pretend your target and go through that video. And it's called the Canvas plan. So it's a much more shorter way of getting to your business proposal, getting to your ideas. But I would first do the brain dump, like Vanessa was saying, and then watch this video, just write it down and then copy it. That's kind of what I've utilized. And I'm going to tell you guys, honestly, it's taken me 10 years to write my own business plan. So, but I've been in business for like 10 years. Just to say that, you know, and like Vanessa was saying, sometimes we get so eager with the name. I know when I started out as Wisconsin Mujeres. And then I'm like, but people would trip on that. And I'm like, okay, but all right. So I got, and now everybody knows me as Wisconsin Mujeres, but I rebranded to Midwest Mujeres and just took over my own name. But what to say is that it's a journey. And if you don't have all of like the legitness of it, I mean, honestly, have we ever been legitimate? I mean, like really?
You have to, you know what you guys can think about it like? You can think about it like a puzzle. You know how like when you get a new puzzle and you like throw all the pieces on the table and like some of the pieces are facing up and some of them are facing down, and then you have to like start figuring it out, and it might take you an hour, it might take you a day, it might take you a month, like it might take you freaking forever to like piece this puzzle together. But once you piece it together, you're like, I did that. I'm the master of this fucking puzzle. Because that's how you feel when you create it, you know? You're like, God, that was hard work. But you're like, God, I feel accomplished. So it's like, it's kind of like that, like all the pieces of the puzzle, and there's like different pieces that look similar, and you're like, where does this go? And like sometimes it fits and sometimes it doesn't. That's all the trial and error. Like you got to go through the trial and error, you know? That's how we learn. Like it's not all gonna be like awesome. And I'm telling you this because it still happens to today, because we're not the only ones in control of things. Like there's me, there's you, there's the universe, there's a bunch of things going on, a bunch of moving parts, like, you know? So we can only try and control what we can control, and that's where like that comes in. Also, really quickly, I wanted to answer, I wanted to talk about one more thing to Shadaira? Did I say your name right? I wanted to talk about time blocking, because I know you said like mompreneurs, and if you have like kids or life going on or whatever, right? Time blocking helps so much. And what I mean by that is like, get very, very specific with your calendar. Like you can set your calendar up for success 100. And like, I mean like 7 or 5 to 6 a.m. Wake up the kids, feed the kids. 6 a.m. to 6:30, take a shower. 6:30 to 7:30, work on a business plan. 7:30 to 8:30, like get super, super, super specific with your time and time block, so that you can actually, if you're a mom or whatever the case may be, you can tell people, hey, from 2:30 to 4:30, I'm working on this. I need help. Like take the kids, make dinner, whatever the case may be. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help. People are so willing to help. You don't even know it. They just don't know it because you're not asking. You know what I mean? So rely on your support group if you have one, whether they're family, friends, real people, online people, like whatever the case may be, man. you can do it.
Absolutely. And I put some resources in the chat, y'all, for time blocking, like the definition, how you go through that, just like if you need some more reminders on that. And then for someone's like, I want to know about grant writing. And then that keeps on coming up. Vanessa, we have a problem here in Madison, Wisconsin. We are like this county full of the one type of business plan, which is nonprofit plan.
Oh.
Yes, it's like, it's kind of interesting. It's become a model here. We have a very large percentage of nonprofit organizations in a very condensed county. So that is a go-to business plan. And you're like, oh, it's not a bad plan. It's just, it is a plan. It is a business plan. And it requires it does require some grant writing. And I think that even if for social entrepreneurs like ourselves, I gotta do grant writing too, right? But it's done differently. And so I put some videos out there. That is something that I definitely want to bring back to this group. And thank you for mentioning that, y'all. I've been hearing that loud and clear. So thank you. For sure. I will definitely make sure that we have a presenter on that as well. Calendar keeping, time blocking is very important. Exactly, Margarita, because that is when we protect our boundaries too. Right. So I cannot talk to you unless it's like this day, that day. So this is, again, going back to what Vanessa was saying, is like protecting our spirits and protecting our space too, for those times when we need to draw in and be mindful and have meditation or just a slower moment in life. Is there any other last questions that we want to ask? We're coming down to the last like 10-15 minutes. I know that we can stay a little bit longer, but any other last questions? And feel free to raise your hand out and unmute.
Yeah, for real. Show yourselves. Express yourself. Doo-doo-doo.
I feel bad. Hi, everyone. This is Margarita. I feel bad. I came in late. I do apologize about that. But I'm
no
here.
worries, Margarita. Life is life, girl. You're here now. That's all that matters.
Yes, bless.
Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
Johngela
has a question. I think she has a question.
Hello.
Dulce has a question. Oh, there we go, Johngela. Okay, cool. So we got two.
My name is Johngela.
Johngela.
Yes, ma'am. The question that I have is, so, like the one young lady said, with the financial situation, talking and just putting yourself out there, that's like a big deal. So I've done that, right? I have all the writing downs. I'm not the social media thing. What would be but however, I don't feel that social media is really what I need right now.
Okay, smart.
Let's say apps, like development. Do you know anything about that?
Can anybody hear her? I think she said app development.
Yes, app development.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about what you do so that I can have a little bit of background so that I know like what industry you're in? Transportation. Okay, so and when you say app development, what exactly do you mean?
I would need an app to be formed for the
got you. Okay. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but there are actually some resources that it's like creating a website that you can like just do it. It's like plug and play type of situation, and it creates an app. Okay, and there's different ones. I'll share them with Araceli once I get them. But that's an option, right? And then there's definitely like app developers on Fiverr or those type of softwares where you can like hire a freelancer for, within a budget of some sort, right? And they usually they work with people. And they probably create like ways of being able to, payment plans or different ways to create this app. But yeah, there's apps for creating apps. and then going to like somewhere like Fiverr or something like that to hire an app developer to go a little more deeper if you want, if you want to make it a little more like an experience.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Oh, One more question.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the floor. Floor is
Your
yours.
company, are you available? So like, can I reach out for like consultations or use your
Oh
service?
yes, yes, absolutely, 100%. I can share with you guys, or I'll just give it to Araceli so she can just send you guys everything that she's gonna send you in one little spiel. But yeah, I definitely have different offers and different ways of working with me, and different budgets too. So yeah,
Absolutely. I'll put
thank you.
her Instagram in there and the link. I'll put her Instagram in there so you can follow her. Thank you.
Yeah, also free resources on my Instagram.
I need to get one of those too.
Do you have a Facebook page for people that don't have Instagram? Because I can barely
Yes.
manage and get through Facebook and Messenger.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook as well. I'll have Araceli definitely send you guys all of those, but I don't remember my @ name on Facebook, but I think it's just Vanessa Castillo. If you look up Vanessa Castillo, I think I should pop up. I don't know. There's a lot of freaking Vanessa Castillos too, though. I am trying to take over. I do own VanessaCastillo.com, so I literally tell people like I am the Vanessa Castillo, but it's cool. It's cool.
Thank you.
Shout out to my college professor for making me buy that one. He was like, you guys should just get your name. I would recommend just getting your name. Just get your name. Just get your name. Because we had a whole, like, I hated that class. It was a coding class. Whew, it's one thing that I don't like to do, guys. It's coding websites. And I mean like coding websites. It's very tedious stuff. Any other questions? I think Dulce had her hand up.
Yes, and I was, Vanessa, yo le estaba diciendo a la gente que si quieren preguntar algo en español, por favor, hazlo. Dulce,
Sí,
go ahead, unmute.
definitivamente.
Oh, está bien. Thanks so much. I really have a pleasure to hear you everything. I tell Araceli, I really honored to hear about the people growing business. So it's super hard sometimes, and then believe it or not, growing baby steps is good. So my question is,
100%.
my question is,
Baby.
yeah. So my question is, how do you know, how do you learn, how do you do to say no sometimes? Because for me, sometimes it's really hard. I mean, like as you say no for something, say yes for you, and then sometimes it's really, really hard, believe it or
I
not.
know.
So
Dulce.
I see you
I
I see you have really nice agent, really nice organization about your life, and I hear everything.
Thank you.
Super nice and cool. I say, how
thank
she's
you.
doing it? Because sometimes, like you say, you have to have a routine or something. But in the bad words, we promise something for us and we don't do it for us. But for a friend or for somebody, we say yes
We're
and
all
we do
there.
it.
We're all there.
Yeah. So it's like
Girl,
question,
I
like
know.
how do you do?
I know about this life because I was a yes man for a long time. And sometimes it's good to be a yes man because sometimes it's like, this is an opportunity where if I say yes, something awesome might happen. But in those situations, girl, where you feel in your heart, in the pit of your stomach, in your throat, like in all of these places that you want to say no, number one, start practicing how to say no, right? Like just in the most polite way. And again, always think about the other person, right? Like, oh, thank you so much, for whatever. Right now is not the time. Like there's so many ways to say no without saying no, right? So maybe just try and find a way that feels good to you, that like you feel like you're not gonna make them feel bad or whatever, because at the end of the day, you have to start putting yourself first. You have to start pouring more into yourself in order to pour into others. Like your glass always has to be full so that when you're pouring, that thing is still full, like you still have water in there. You're not like all the way like chupada, like, oh, I got no water, I need water. Like, no, there should always be water in your cup, and you should always be just like gently pouring into others. You can't like you can't pour the whole thing into one person, because then you're not gonna have any water for anybody else, you know? So you gotta kind of like water the whole garden, poquito a poquito, and then keep a little water in there, you know? but I would recommend just starting. Like the next time that you want to say no, say no. Say no in a way that feels good to you. Say no in a way that's not saying no, that's saying no anyways, that they know you're saying no, you know?
Okay, muchas gracias.
Anytime.
Es bueno aprender de alguien que sabe.
Ay, gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I just want to show all y'all that the way we get our answers is by asking those questions. And I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, Jonjela. You are amongst a data analyst, a computer science individual who is part of Midwest Mujeres, Lisette Luker.
Oh, awesome.
And I could help maybe get, I could buy some consulting hours from Lisette to give to you, Jonjela, and she just put some really good things that about Fiverr on here. Lisette is like my right arm about analysts, and we always need a good analyst who knows the back ends. Like Vanessa was just talking about how tedious it is to build a website. It is very tedious for me. I can't do it all by myself when I'm doing the analytics for, say, social media marketing. And we have Lisette, who's an amazing individual, and she's also part of our Midwest Mujeres group. So I love it that we can answer our own questions here in this group. And so yes, let's preserve that. Have the feeling, self-preservation.
That's why community is so important, so special.
So important, so special, because all of us, we have our answers right here. And I hope through this journey that we can continue to get to know each other a little bit better. It is coming up to, I'm sure, 9:03 over there in Florida. It is 8:03 here in Wisconsin, and it is time to probably close this shop down, just to again protecting our peace, protecting our time. Any last words of encouragement, Vanessa, our bestie business bestie from Instagram? I swear, half the stuff I've learned, but you've been watching a little bit my reels, right? You see,
I have, girl.
Just
You've
a little
been stepping up your game. Don't front.
I know, right? I did. And it's honestly all because I just followed you and I was like feeling encouraged about you're always dancing in front of the camera, and literally just having a great time. And that is what I want my business to feel like, and every day to feel like, and the work that we're doing. And even if we're helping people who are and I talk to folks that are in the front lines, helping homeless folks, getting off the streets. And those are the advocates that I'm talking to and giving giving them encouragement, but they need to see that I'm happy too. And even the folks that I am maybe helping that aren't there, and they got to see that positivity somewhere. And so I gotta thank you too for just being that break in this day, because it's whatever I'm doing, I need to be happy. If not, what's the point of doing it? We're already doing so many unhappy things every day, right?
For real though. I literally have something that I wrote outside. I said, if it doesn't make you happy, then it doesn't matter. Straight up. So that's number one. That's my number one. My number two, I was gonna say that remember that you're the water, you're not the rock. So always go with the current, always flow, always just, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be bad. Sometimes you're gonna crash into a rock and stuff, but you're the water, so you're chilling, you're flowing, you're cool, And the other thing is, definitely, if you are on Instagram, I definitely encourage you to follow me, please. I feel like I just show up in my most authentic self, and it's with the intention of what she just said, inspiring others to basically do the same thing, right? And it's not always I'm not all there all positivity all the time. I'm there keeping it real. I'm keeping it real with you. I'm showing you the good, the bad, the ugly, and that way you know that it's okay to be you, to go through the motion, and to just do the next thing.
Do the next thing. Amen. She says, thank you so much for your positivity. Sorry, I accidentally sent it you directly. No worries. This is so beautiful. I'm so excited. And honestly, just yes, keep on doing your thing and coming and showing up, being positive for folks, because people are looking at us. People are definitely watching us, and they're waiting for us to come. We are that answer. You know, we are that answer because we are extraordinary folks of women of color that survived in this winter land. Vanessa, sometimes I'll be talking to you and see you dance over there in Florida, and it's 30 degrees
And
below zero.
You're like freezing, like.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah, I
so,
don't know about that
just to
life,
say,
girl.
yes, that's what I'm saying. We're extraordinary folks over here, and so keep that, take that, because that's the reflection that Midwest Mujeres wants to bring in today. And thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, Araceli, for inviting me. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your beautiful space with me, your energy. And yeah, just thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm saving this chat. Yeah. All right. Buenas noches. Unos saludos. All right. Get up, get stretching. Let's do a little dance. Let's do a farewell dance.
A little dance.
Moving it. Yes. Okay. But you said you were, she has also a Spotify channel coming up too. You said you're going to start a Spotify list.
Yeah. I'm going to start a weekly playlist.
All right. Let's see if you guys can hear. Can you guys hear this? This is a little bit of the Hamilton. Okay. Well, I was just trying to play some music. Let's just move on.
Damn,
all right.
I can't hear it, but I am moving to the rhythm of my soul. So
hey, rhythm to the soul, moving into that rhythm of the soul. Thank you so much. We will see you here next Tuesday. Adios, amigas. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. See you.